Shalom and welcome. My name is Tom Howling. Today we have our Hebrew class as we have each week, and we are going through the book of John in Hebrew, which we call Yehochanan, chapter 4, verses 35 to 38. So now we will begin. And for anyone who's relatively new, I have a chart for the vowel markings showing how we have different vowels. This is called a patak. It has a short A sound, and this is a kamat, a longer A sound. We have the same with the E sound. And I've given you resources which are very useful. They give you transliteration, even color-coded. And generally, it's a very good source. And of course, to do it in Hebrew dictionary, which you will need to use to see the root words, because we are dealing with the Brit Chadashah, and we don't have something like the blue letter because it's only in Greek. So let us begin. And as we can see, we're in 35. The Lamed has a value of 30 and the Hey a value of 5 because it is the fifth letter of the alphabet. So we go through the letters. Hey Lamed Aleph, Aleph Tav Mem Sofit, Tav Aleph Mem Resh Vav, Ayin Vav Dalet, Aleph Resh Bet Ayin Hey, Chet Dalet Shin Yod Mem Sofit. And just a few points. When we see the letters in white, that means we don't at all pronounce it. And we can see the different vowels here. So this is a patak, so it gives you a short A sound. This is a cholam, it gives it the O sound. This is patak. This is segol, which is a short E sound. This is a cholam. And this is like a dagesh, but it gives us a U sound. And again, this is a cholam, the O sound, the short A sound, the longer A sounds. These are all long A sounds. This is a chirik, so it gives you the I sound. So let us begin. Hello. Hello. Now the hey here is what's called a questioning hey. It's giving you a question. So I've used is it not. You could say do not. So if we look down here, hello as a conjunction, it means don't or didn't or was it not or surely or indeed. So you can use any of those. So is it not, and then atem, you, or do not you. Tom ru, you shall say. The reason it's you and not they is because we have a tav in the front, which is second person. You shall say, because we know that omar is to say. And then we have od, which means still. If we look down here, od, we notice the ayin's not pronounced. It's an adjective, means more, still, yet another. Still, arba'ah, 4. Chadashim, meaning months. It's a plural form. And we have it down here. Chodesh is a masculine noun meaning month. Then we have Chadash, which is an adjective meaning new or unused. And then we have Chidesh, which is a PL verb to renew, like a contract, to rejuvenate or to initiate. So I'm just giving you some variations of the same word. Okay, now we can read it. Hello, atem, tom ru, od, arba'ah, chadashim. And of course the translation, which happens to be, is it not you shall say, still 4 months? And the English is, do you not say, there are yet 4 months? That's how it's translated. So we come to the next part, part B. And we begin by going through the letters. And so we have a vav, a hey, a kuf, a zade, a yod, resh, Bayit, Aleph, Hey, Nun, Hey, Aleph, Nun, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Lamed, Kaf, Mem, Sofit, Semek, Aleph, Vav, Ayin, Yod, Nun, Yod, Kaf, Mem, Sofit. And now we come to reading it. And we begin, Veha Katsir, and it means, and the harvest. Ba comes. Hine, behold. Ani, I am. Omer, saying. Now often it's translated, I say, but I'm using saying because Omer is like a participle. So an ani can be I or I am. I am saying, lakim, to you, se'u, you lift, because the master is speaking directly to his disciples. It's the second person, so it's you lift. Eine kem, your eyes. Now, of course, the kem is like a plural form of you. So your eyes. So he's talking to all of them. And the translation, you say 4 months, and the harvest shall come. Behold, I say to you, lift your eyes. And I've given you katsir, which is a masculine noun for harvest or reaping. And then we have nasa, which is a co-verb to bear, to carry, or to lift up. And then we have ayin, a feminine noun meaning eye. It can also mean look, gaze, appearance. It's all related to the eyes. And eini, as an adjective can mean ocular, but it can also mean my eyes. And iyen is a PL verb to study, to read. Of course, something that uses the eyes. So it's very similar. It comes from that root. So now we can read that. And it is the ha-katsir ba hine ani omer lakem seu ene kem. And the harvest comes. Behold, I am saying to you, you lift your eyes. And now we come to 35c. And we've got a Vav, a Resh, and a Aleph, a Vav. Vet, Sin, Dalet, Vav, Tav, Kaf, Yod, Kaf, Vet, Resh, Hey, Lamed, Bayit, because the dot, Yod, Nun, Vav, Lamed, Kuf, Zada, Yod, Resh. And we read, u, and you see, again the master speaking to them, so it's second person, and you see the sadot, in the fields, with the vayet being in, and its root, of course, is sadeh. That's the root. It's a masculine noun meaning field, but it's plural because the ot on the end. Ki for kevar, already. He'll be new. They are white. If we look down here, I've got he'll bein, which is a verb to whiten, to turn white, to blanch. And its root word is lavan, adjective, white, pale. And that's the name, of course, of Laban. It means white. La katsir, for harvest. They are white for harvest. The lamed is for. And our translation, lift up your eyes and look at the fields, for they are already white for harvest. And so now we can read it. Ur-u, va sadot, ki kevar, he'll be new. la katsir. And again the translation, and you see in the fields, for already they are white for harvest. And now we get 36a, and it's represented with Lamed 30 and a Vav 6, because again it is the sixth letter of the alphabet. So we go through the letters. Vav, He, Kuf, Vav, Zade, Resh, Yod, Kaf, Chet, Sin, Kaf, Resh, Vav, Vav, Yod, Aleph, Samek, Fesofit, Tav, Vet, Vav, Aleph, He, Lamed, Chet, Yod, Yod. And then we read it. The Ha, Ko, Tsir, Kotzer, Ha-Kotzer. And the reaper, it's now a noun because we've got the hay there as well. And the reaper, Yikach, he shall take, comes from down here, lakach, which is a call verb to take, to acquire. And he shall take, sekaro, his reward. If we look at down here, sakar is a masculine noun meaning wage or payment. Then it is ve'ye'eh sof. Ve'ye'eh sof. And he shall gather. And of course its root is asaf, which is a call verb to gather or to collect. And he shall gather tevuah, a crop. And tevuah, as it has down, it's a feminine noun, it can mean grain produce, crops or yield. So a crop. And then we have lechaye, and that's a construct form, and it means for life. So that means it's connected to the next word, which we will see in a minute. And the reaper shall take his reward and gather a crop for life. So let us now read that. V'ha-kotzer yikach sekaro ve'ye'eh sof tevuah lechaye. And the reaper, he shall take his reward, and he shall gather a crop for life. And 36b, we have an ayin, a vav, lamed mem safit, lamed mem ayin nun safit, yod sin mem chet vav, yod chet dalet vav, Gimel Mem Safit Hey Zion Resh Ayin. And we're reading again, silent. Olam, eternal. Let ma'an, so that. Yismechu, they may rejoice. Again, the pronoun, as often it's on the end, they. And the yod can be shall or may, they shall, and then we've got the root, samach, which is literally the root, the call verb to rejoice, to be happy. So it means, and they may rejoice. And we have yachdav, together. Gum also, that's the usual meaning of gum. Zore'ah, the sower, or literally the one sowing, because it's like in a participle form. And we have the root down here. Zara is a call verb to sow, to disseminate. And then we have zera, which is a masculine noun for seed or sperm. So we can see that words, whether they're verbs, and then nouns, they're all very closely related. That's the advantage of Hebrew, is that when you see it, you just have to determine whether it's a noun Well, because this has got a hey in front of it, it means the. And you could say the sower, or you could say the one sowing, because it looks like Zoreah, looks like more like a participle form. So for life, that's from the previous, eternal, so that both the sower, and now we can read it. Olam letma'an yismechu yachdav gam ha-zoreah. Eternal, so that they may rejoice together also the sower, or the one sowing. And part C, we have Gimel, Mem Safit, Hey, Kuf, Vav, Zade, Resh. And we read it, Gam, which means also again. Ha, Kotser, the reaper. Again, or it could be said, the one reaping. So that they may rejoice together, both the sower and also the reaper. So I've given you Kotser, Shem, which is often, they put Shem with it as well. And it's a noun, and it means harvester or reaper. And again, Katsar, a cold verb to harvest, to reap, to exterminate. I guess that means like to remove. And then we read it. Gam ha kotser. Also the reaper. And now we turn to 37a, represented again with the lamed, and now with the Zion, which has a value of 7. And then we go Kaf Yod, Veyet Zion Aleph Tav, Yod Aleph Mem Nun Safit, Hey Mem Shin Lamed, Kaf Yod, Zion Hey, Zion Resh Ayin. And we read it. Ki, for, Vazot, in this. The vet is in. Yeah, amen. Yeah, amen. It shall be affirmed. So how do we get that? Well, of course, we've got the root word amen. And we know that amen is often what we say at the end of a prayer, and it means may it be, or truly, it's used in different ways. Right, and then I've got down here ha'aman, which is a verb to be accredited, to be true. So we could say to be found true, or it shall be affirmed. Ha-ma-shal. Ha-ma-shal. The proverb. A mashal, if we look down here, it's a proverb, but it's a noun. It can mean parable, proverb, or even a saying. And then we've got ki, for, ze, this, and I've added one. This one. If we looked at it, ze as a pronoun can mean that, this, it, that one. It's a masculine singular form. So this one, zoreah, sows. And again, it could be this one is sowing. But this one sows. For by this saying is confirmed that one sows. That's our translation. And so now we can read it, which is ki, for. Sorry, I'll just read it. Ki vazot ye'amen ha-mashal ki ze zoreah. For in this it shall be affirmed, the proverb, for this one sows. And we come to 37b, and we have a vav, an aleph, a chet, a resh, yod, kuf, zade, resh. And we read it, ve'acher, and another. Acher, if we look down here, acher is an adjective, means another, other, different. But as a prep, it can actually mean after. And it is Yik-sor, he will reap. The imperfect form with the yod in front of it, Yik-sor, he will reap. Because, of course, katsar is a kal verb to reap, to harvest, to exterminate. And so we read it. Ve'acher Yik-sor. And another he will reap. And now we come to 38. It's a lamed and a chet, being the 8th letter of the alphabet. And then we have Aleph, Nun, Kaf, Yod, Shin, Lamed, Chet, Tav, Yod, Aleph, Tav, Kaf, Mem, Safit, Lamed, Kuf, Zade, Resh, Aleph, Tav, Aleph, Shin, Resh. And we read it. Anuki, I, Shalachti, I send, Et, Kim, you. Grammar marker you, and that's a plural you. Lik-sor, for reaping, and I've used it in the participle form. Some will translate it to reap, right? But it can also be for reaping as a participle. Et, shear. Grammar marker what. For reaping what? And so the translation is, I myself have sent you to reap what? And now we read it. Anuki shalachti et kem lik-sor et asher. And of course the translation, I send, grammar marker you, for reaping, grammar marker what? And I've given you shalach, which is a kal verb to send, to dispatch, to reach out one's hand. And again, katsar, to reap, to harvest. Now I've given you a note here so that we get some basic understanding. The kal verb stem is the most common and basic verbal form in biblical Hebrew, representing simple action. Example, to eat, to write. So that just gives us an understanding of a kal verb, a very basic form. All right, so now we come to part B. And we have a lamed and a aleph, an ayin, mem, lamed, tav, mem, safit, bet, vav, vav, aleph, chet, resh, yod, mem, safit, ayin, mem, lamed, vav, vav, aleph, tav, mem, safit. Lo, not, amal, tem, you labored. Now, what I want to establish there is when we say labored, it's often translated worked, but it's far more than that. The amal, it does mean to work, to labor, but it literally means to do hard work, strive hard. So it's hard labor would be a better translation. You labored hard or extreme. Bo, in it, va'acherim, and others. We remember that acher mean other. Well, now it's a plural form. And others, amlu, they worked. And again, it means they worked hard, right? Ve'atem, and you. So the translation is to reap what you have not labored for. Others have labored, now you. And I've also given you imel, which is a PL verb to train in sport. And you can imagine when they talk about training in sport, it's not easy training, it is hard training. So that word relates more to striving hard in work. And so we read it. Lo, amaltem bo va'acherim amlu ve'atem. And of course the translation, not you labored in it, and others, they worked, and you. And I've now given you also the note down here, a PL verb stem, and that's what we come across quite often where we got either a cul or a PL verb. It can express intensive, resultative, or causative action, or active voice. It is indicated by the gesh in the second radical of the verb. And we do have an example right here. We see there's the gesh in the mem, and there isn't up there. So that's telling us it's a PL verb. So it's more intense, intensive, we could say. Okay, very good. And now we come to part C of 38. We got a nun, kaf, nun, samek, tav, mem safit, bet, ayin, mem lamed, mem safit. Now we read it. Nich nastem, nik nastem, nik nastem. You enter. So how do, well, of course, the tem at the end is a plural you. And its root, we have the word here, niknas. It's a verb to enter, to get into, to commence. So literally it's to enter, but it has its root in kanes, which is a PL verb to assemble, to combine, to bring together. So it's interesting that because we remember that the government of Israel is Knesset. So it means to bring together, to assemble. So I just thought that was interesting. But the root word here is niknas, which is a verb to enter. So you enter ba'amalam. And again, the ba meaning into, and the mem sofit at the end, meaning there, and then labor or hard labor. Now you have come into their labor. And so we read it again. Nich nas tem ba'amalam. You enter into their labor. And so now we begin. Now we start with actually the revision to see just what we gathered from all this. We have a lamet, we know that's a value of 30, and the hey is a value of 5, so we're in 35. Hallo, which means is it not or do not, atem you, tom ru, you shall say, od still, arba'a 4, chadashim, months. Is it not you shall say still 4 months? We must realize that in Hebrew they have some redundancy in it, but it also tells us that the you is related here. So they repeat you, often not translated. They leave off the you there, but it's in the word. And then we have the ha-katsir, and the harvest ba comes. Hine, behold, ani, I am, omer, saying, lakem, to you, se'u, you lift up, einekem, your eyes. And the harvest comes. Behold, I am saying to you, you lift your eyes. Uru, and you see the sadot in the fields, ki for kevar already, hill be new, which is like a causative hey, they are white. La katsir, for harvest, or for harvesting. And you see in the fields, for already they are white for harvest. And now we come to 36, represented with Lamed 30, Vav 6. The ha-kotsir, and the harvest, or in this case it's the harvester, in other words, the reaper. Yikach, he shall take, sakaro, his wage, or his reward, the ye'esof, and he shall gather, tevu'ah, a crop, or a yield, lechaye, for life. And the reaper, he shall take his reward, and he shall gather a crop for life. Olam, eternal, let ma'an, so that yismechu, they shall rejoice, yachdav, together, gam also, hazoreah, the sower, or the one sowing, eternal, so that they may rejoice together, also the sower. Gum also ha-kotzer, meaning the reaper, also the reaper, or the one reaping. Also the reaper. And we come to 37 now. We have a Lamed, a Zion, 7th letter. Key for Vazot, in this, man, it shall be proven or accredited, ha-mashal, the proverb. Key for they, this one, zoreah, sows or is sowing. For in this shall be affirmed the proverb, for this one is sowing. The acher, and another, yiksor, he shall reap, or he shall be reaping. And another, he shall be reaping. I'm just using the more the participle form, but you can just say he shall reap. And then finally we come to verse 38, represented with Lamed and Chet, the 8th letter of the alphabet. Anoki, I, shalachti, I send, etkem you, liksor, to harvest, et asher, grammar marker what? And you can say, right, I send grammar marker you for reaping. So I'm using a participle form for reaping or harvesting. Et grammar marker asher what? Lo not amaltem, you labored hard. Bo, in it. Va'acherim, and others, amlu, they labored hard. Va'atem, and you, not you labored hard in it, and others, they worked hard. And you, nik nas tem, you entered ba'amalam, into their hard labor. and you enter into their labor. I'm just emphasizing that amal means like a very hard labor. It's not an easy work that when we bring the truth to people, it's a hard labor. And of course, now we have the vowel marks. And we have a kamatz. Now, ka, it gives us a longer A sound. And we have patak, short A, zere, a longer E sound, segol, short, shiva, it's a syllable break. And we have cholam, that's the O sound. Then we have shutruk, that's the U sound. And then we have kubutz, like a longer U sound. Then we have a combination of shiva and segol. It's called kataf segol, where after the syllable break we get an E sound. Then we have chirik, the I sound, kataf patak, that's the short A again, and then we have kataf kamas, a longer A sound. And then finally, we have our resources again, and I do pray you use them, they are very helpful, and also the values of the letters. Now we're going to take it a different direction. We're saying tav, which is 400, pei, they've got pev, but we call it fei or pei, is 80, kaf is 20, hey is 5, dalet is 4, yod is 10, iron is 7, t, shin is 300, resh is 200, samek is 60, tet is 9, gimel is 3, vayet is 2, chet is 8, nun is 50, and kuf is 100. I'm doing it in this odd way in order for us to try to remember the individual letters, not a sequence. And I want to encourage you. I do pray that you are blessed by going through these lessons. It's about consistency. We just keep doing it, and gradually our understanding is greater, because we do believe that Hebrew is the Lashon HaKodesh, the holy tongue. So I pray you continue. And we thank you for joining us on this lesson. In Yeshua's great and glorious name, we do pray that you are blessed. Amen.